In today's episode, Diana Sir shares tips on conducting online workshops live. Fiona Fussi shows us how you can work your abs and salivate over celebrity chef Angela May's hibiscus cherry glazed lamb.
We'll never stray too far from home.
Hello everyone. Thank you for staying home together with me. I'm Hosean Leong. June is usually the month where parents start to make holiday plans for their kids. Now, June 2020 is a completely different month now. Parents still have to work from home, and kids from primary school all the way up to junior college are going back to school because they already had their holidays during the month of May. My guest for today is a super mom with 3 kids, so she knows all about the trials and tribulations of home-based learning. Let's give it up for Diana Sir. Hello, Diana.
Hi, Hosean. Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us on Home Together. You know, you've been hosting Talking Point for some years now, but now during this COVID-19 period, you're going out there into the community and getting interviews and chatting with people. How does that feel?
I think incredibly privileged because even as the crisis unfolds in Singapore as well as the rest of the world, I feel that it is a privilege to be able to go out there and continue to tell stories. I wish I can go out a bit more actually because the situation is actually quite dynamic. So by the day, the rules will change. So just a couple of weeks ago, I was able to visit, say, a low-income family in certain part of Singapore. And subsequently, we are just really doing interviews like what you are doing now, sitting in a place and doing Zoom interviews. So I would really love to be a lot out there, even though it actually does pose a risk to my family, I guess, when I'm exposed.
Yeah. But of course, all the precautions are taken, right? With the mask and washing hands and everything. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I try my very best. In fact, just a few weeks ago, because I was out and about and I happened to be doing a story that had me visiting a lot of hospitals. It was just prior to the circuit breaker. So during that period, I got a little bit paranoid. So even when I came home, I would wear my mask. So I would wear a mask outside and I would wear a mask at home as well. It wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world, but I think I owed it to my kid.
You know, communication with the elderly, a lot of people are stuck at home right now with no contact with their children or grandchildren. It must be so hard.
I have to say that it surprises me a little bit because when times were normal, on the weekends for a lot of families in Singapore, it's always about, visiting 2 sides of the grandparents for the weekend. So there were times when you just feel that, gee, don't I have any me time? Can I, like this week, the kids are having exams, can we don't visit? But right now, I'm actually starting to not actually feel bad, but actually feel like I'm missing my folks, my parents and my in-laws. My daughter just told me the other day, Mommy, I really miss Amma. And I felt a little bit sad. And I think the older people, they need that connection as well. Video calls and all that help. I used to just call her on the phone during the circuit breaker and say, Mom, do you have fish? Do you have vegetables?
Yeah.
Don't go out.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Speaking of home-based learning, you're talking about your kids just now. How has it been? Because you and James are working from home. The kids have, before the holidays, would have to be studying from home, home-based learning. All of us are together in one room. How does it work out for you?
In the beginning, it was really quite tough because we were just not used to it and we don't have the big space to work with. But to be honest, after about 2 weeks of the home-based learning, everyone hits our stride. We got the rhythm going. Like right now on Saturdays, after 4 Saturdays, I managed to not forget my daughter's art class. So she's having her art class now. In the beginning, it took us about 2 weeks to get used to things. Now that we've hit our stride, it gets a little bit easier. But to be honest with you, I don't want to be doing this for any longer than it's necessary because not all children and not all teachers are able to control the children via online settings. So I mean, the children's health and safety notwithstanding, I can't wait to get back to school.
How has that impacted you in your professional life, working from home?
Well, everyone is affected directly or indirectly, and it actually forces you to embrace new ways of doing things. So I think I choose to look on the brighter side of things. In terms of work, I am actually really happy to be able to doing news-related work. So it gets me out there.
Yeah.
Of course, there are challenges to telling stories now. I mean, I would love to bring a story to you. I would love to get into a foreign worker dormitory. I would love to be in a hospital hospital setting where they are treating COVID patients, but there are restrictions and you just don't do these things now.
You have gone onto Instagram Live. Tell us more about that.
I suppose my way of bringing value and bringing content to people at a time when all of us are kind of not being able to go anywhere. So, for example, recently I did some Instagram Live on how to improve your children's Chinese language skills during the CB breaker. I did another one on communication skills as well. So it's obviously free for all, and I think that's the great democratic aspect of social media these days.
You know, over this whole COVID period time, you had, and together with a mutual friend of ours, stepped forward to initiate a charity. Do you want to talk more about that? It's called #ShowWeCareSG.
Yes, the #ShowWeCareSG is an online fundraising campaign that an old friend of mine started in mid-April, which just ended in mid-May. And we had a target of raising $250,000 for the vulnerable in Singapore. And that includes low-income family, the elderly, as well as the handicapped, the disabled. And I'm very happy to share that we actually exceeded our target.
Wow.
That amount of money, I think, will go only a little way towards helping the social service agencies. So the social service agencies are the agencies who will be using the money to reach out to their clients whom they have been helping all along, be they elderly, low income or disabled.
I thought about us as friends, you know, we've been friends since like 1990s when TCS days, right? And there's a little clip that I managed to dig up. And perhaps if you want to have a look at your screen...
This is your life!
Oh my God, why does it sound so familiar?
The responsibility for it once and for all, can not?
Why don't you just go and make yourself a better life instead of dreaming about it all the time? Evan, are you okay? Hey!
In my dreams, I own this penthouse apartment. I'm posh, own a flying school. I walk around with this briefcase full of money. I'm a somebody.
What did you think of that?
Wow.
Right?
Thank you so much for that. I have something to show my kids, you know. Because they have never known me that way.
We thought that would give you a little blast from the past. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Diana. It's lovely to see you again, and I hope next time we meet will be over a drink, over a meal.
Yes, and we have so much to catch up on, Hosen, who was my other boyfriend back then in those days.
Yes, we had a lot of fun back then in those days. All right, take care.
Thanks, Hosen. Good
say
to
hi
see
to
you.
James and the kids, okay? Bye.
I will. Stay well, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Diana, sir. And coming up after the break, we are going to get fit with one of our fitness junkies.
This is a fun floor workout that I love to do at home. It targets the core and abs, as well as your glutes and your butt.
We'll never stray too far from home. We'll never stray too far from home.
Hello and welcome back. I know why going to the gym for a workout is important to many fitness buffs. There is a whole spectrum of machines you can lay your hands on. You can join an aerobics class and feel the euphoria of collective pumping. And let's admit it, you can people watch and ogle at the muscles on hot bods. But before the gyms are allowed to open, we too can get active and attain the desired abs with just a piece of exercise mat. Don't believe me? Let Fiona Fussi show you how.
Hey there, I'm Fiona Fussi. This is a fun floor workout that I love to do at home. It targets the core and abs, as well as your glutes and your butt. All you need is a mat, and let's do this workout together. The first exercise, your hands and your knees on the floor. Extend your left arm and your right leg, and crunch in. When you extend, try to be in a straight line with your arms and legs, and crunch in. Really stabilize your whole body. Keep your balance. This really activates the core. If this is too difficult, you can just try to hold. But try to push yourself and crunch in. Now, other side. Alternate to your right arm and left leg. Extend them out in a straight line. And crunch. And crunch. Extend and crunch. If you feel your abs shaking, that's okay, it's a good sign. Well done. Now the next exercise, come into plank. Make sure your butt is down. And we're gonna do mountain climbers. So try to do them faster. Try to keep your feet off the ground. But if these are too difficult for you, you can tap in. Try to bring your knee to your chest. Really crunch using your abs. Now we're gonna do them faster. Double time. This also really works your shoulders. Woo. Okay, time for the next exercise. Lie down on your mat, and we're gonna do glute bridges. So push with your glutes and your hamstrings. Bring your butt up as high as you can. This is great for your bum. If you want to make it harder, the next level, you can extend one leg up to the sky and do single leg glute bridge. Push as high as you can. Whew, I can really feel my booty working. Now change over. If you're doing single leg, point the other leg up and push with your left leg. You can really feel the burn. If these are too hard for you, you can always drop down into normal glute bridge, like this. You still get a good workout, and you also work your lower back. Okay, well done. Now for the next exercise, stay on your mat. We're gonna do bicycle crunches. We're gonna crunch our left elbow to our right knee, and then swap to the other side. The right elbow, left knee, swap to the other side. Try to keep your other leg off the floor and go as fast as you can. This really works your abs and your core. Really crunch. You can always choose to go a little slower, but hold them for longer. You should feel your abs shaking by now. We're gonna pick up the pace for the last few seconds. And now our last exercise. Stay on your mat again. We're gonna do our last ab exercise. Single leg, V-sit, crawl up your leg and then down your leg and swap to the other leg. Swap to the other leg. Crawl with your hands up your leg and down. This is great for your lower and your upper abs. If you can't keep your legs straight, that's okay too, don't worry. Just do this. But try to crawl up to your ankle and back down. Swap. Keep your other leg off the ground. And that's our last exercise. Well done, I'm so proud of you. I can feel your abs and your butt burning through the screen. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay safe, stay home, and I'll see you soon.
See? Your home too can be your new playground or battleground for fitness, depending on how hard you want to push yourself. Okay, time for a quick break, and don't go away, especially if you want to know how to serve up a yummy dish of glazed lamb with cherry hibiscus.
We'll never stray too far from home. We'll never stray too far from home.
Hello and welcome back. You may have heard of this before. Lamb is very much an acquired taste and a hard nut to crack due to its gamey smell. Not to worry, as our celebrity chef for today, Angela May, will show you how you can reduce and neutralize this smell by adding cherry hibiscus.
Hi everyone, I am Chef Angela May, and I hope that you are all safe and healthy at home. Now, everyone in Singapore has been absolutely baking up a storm. So everybody's getting great use out of their oven. So how about trying something like lamb leg in the oven? Today, I'm gonna show you something very, very simple, but a great way to feed your entire family and give a little bit of an elevated meal, but just putting in a little bit of effort and lots of time. So here we have a lamb leg that has had the bone removed. And so we're just gonna go ahead and cook this for a while in the oven, and then take it out when it's about 30 minutes to being done, and put a bit of a glaze over it with a sweet cherry jam. And then we'll finish that off and just eat it with a salad. So here we have some black pepper, Himalayan pink salt, chopped garlic, some finely chopped rosemary, and a bit of morello cherry hibiscus ginger jam. And then now, before I start cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and mask up. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to make sure this lamb has tons of seasoning, and I'm just gonna check how they removed the bone here. So we have a bit of an open cavity here with the lamb. So I'm gonna season that area because I wanna get everything in there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and puncture a few spots along here so we can get some extra seasoning inside. That's lovely. So just as much as possible, getting those garlic into those little holes, and more of the rosemary as well. I'm gonna go ahead and season very, very liberally inside. Salt and pepper. And then we have this beautiful, nice cap of fat on here as well, which I am going to put with the fat side up inside the oven, so it protects it and we get all of that fat melting and then kind of like using its own fat to marinate itself. That's beautiful. I'm just gonna tie up so that it doesn't flop around so much, and we have a nice roll that we can slice later. So then we have our nice tight roll like this. And go ahead, pop it in here, and then we'll go into an oven at 180 degrees. And it smells like heaven in here. This has about 30 minutes left on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the glazing for this first. It's beautiful. I don't need to have my trussing string on here anymore. So I'm just gonna use this cherry hibiscus ginger jam. And I'm just gonna mix this a little bit with some of this gorgeous lamb juice. So you can see for all of this beautiful liquid that's here in the bottom as well, that it's still got all of that rosemary and garlic in it. Oh, that's plenty. mix it a little. Oh, that's lovely. So you can see it's now a nice spreadable texture. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the spatula since I have it. This is gonna caramelize nicely. Oh, what a gorgeous glaze. Now this is just gonna go back into the oven. Same temperature, about 30 more minutes. Oh, that glaze, look at that. So that probably was in the oven for about, I would say 3.5 hours in total. So normally you would let this rest for a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and slice some for me. Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm gonna plate this together with this gorgeous bean salad. So beans and lamb go together hand in hand. And I've just mixed in some flat leaf parsley and some basil and 2 different colors of tomatoes. So you can see just how healthy and nutritious this looks. Now that's gorgeous. That's a nice healthy portion for me as well. I cannot wait to try this. And especially like these crunchy areas just on the bottom where there was all of that glaze. That is phenomenal. And of course, this is enough to feed an entire family, but make sure you have some bread or something else laying around so that you have like beautiful lamb sandwiches for leftovers. That is such a fantastic meal. I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy, Singapore.
The findings from a recent research done on hamsters by a group of Hong Kong scientists show that the effectiveness of masking up against the coronavirus is huge. So always remember to put on your mask before you step out of the house.